from Wall Street executive to children's book author, one Long Island mom is trying to encourage kids to live by their own personal values.
And her book is called Cookies Are Better Than Vegetables, and this is more than just a book for kids. Welcome to the show today, author Lauren Imparato. Thanks so much for being with us, Lauren.
Thank you for having me.
So let's jump in and talk about what's the book about, because the title is certainly attractive.
I think we can all agree that vegetables are fantastic, but cookies are just better.
Yeah.
But in this book, really, cookies are a metaphor for values and all the really important things in life. My grandmother was my best friend in life, and one of the last things she told me before she passed away was cookies are better than vegetables. And when she said that, I knew that there was a bigger message. And this book is a story of values, and for a child to follow a treasure hunt of uncovering their values and thus becoming a superhero in life as well.
So you touched on it briefly just there, talking about the overall message. So what is the overall message that you want kids and parents to both get from reading this book?
You know, I think gratitude is something we talk about a lot, but it's very passive. You know, to have good values, you have to do good activities. You know, helping somebody cross the street, holding the door for somebody, helping your mom wash the dishes. And it's these little tiny things I think sometimes we forget about. This book really tries to show both in words and images to remind both kids and parents that there's always a way to be better.
How's the book a little bit different? I don't know. Is it hard to teach kids what values are or what they mean?
I feel like every time I see a kid being taught a value, they're kind of being scolded.
Right.
And here it's fun. It's a treasure hunt. It's cookies. It's how many cookies can you collect along the way. And I think that's a really inspiring way. And the book actually comes with a values journal in the back, where it's 8 pages of prompts so the child can write the good things that they did that day.
Let's talk a little bit about that inspiration. What was your inspiration to write this book?
It really was my grandmother, Chutta, my best friend. You know, she'd had a debilitating stroke, and I was by her side for months. She hadn't eaten or, I'm going to tear up, she hadn't eaten or said anything. And then all of a sudden, I brought a hot plate of cookies in, which I'd done every single night. And she grabbed the cookie off her plate, held it up like a host, said, "Cookies are better than vegetables," and shoved it in her mouth. Wow. And from there, the book flew out, and I wrote it in her last month of life, and she would squeeze my thumb every time sorry, I'm like tearing up here. Every time, you know, I think the line was right. So she has sort of approval over the book in a certain way.
I'm sure she'll be very proud of you, that's for sure. You know, you went from being a Wall Street exec to a children's book author. So how did you go about the transition, and what was your decision to make a change like that?
Well, you know, Chetta's main message in life to me was to love life. If you love life, it'll love you back. And to never let yourself be bought for any reason. You know, money, a person, an award, or anything. And I've had a very unlinear career, and I think it's just because I've lived by those values that are now in the book as well.
I love that you shared your inspiration being your grandmother and just the personal story and impact she had on you writing this book. But as a mother, what does it mean to you to have this book out there, not only for your kids, but for other kids?
Well, it's crazy. You know, I wrote this book 2 years ago, but it just came out in April, coincidentally on my grandmother's birthday. And I found out I was pregnant in February. So it's a totally, I'm doing it in less than a month, basically. And now the fact that I get to read this book and instill all these values in my child that came from what would be their great-grandmother is just incredible to me. I mean, I can't believe that life has happened this way.
I mean, you have such a path too. So, are you thinking about another book in the near future? What's
Actually,
next?
I am. You know, I think there's so many lessons in life, and I'd love to do a series of better than vegetables.
Nice.
You know, broccoli is my favorite food and salad, but you know, burgers are better than vegetables. Tacos are better than vegetables.
That could be endless. That could be an endless series.
This is what I'm thinking.
That's great. That's great.
All right. So where can people go to find more information or to find your book?
Yeah, you can go to cookiesarbetterthanvegetables.com. I think the URL is pretty fabulous. Or you can go on Amazon and buy it directly on Amazon as well.
Wonderful. Now you need a cookie line. Lauren, thanks so much for joining us and talking with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nice to see you.